Hello from somewhere in Italy. It's a really like sheltered little area that I decided to drop my anchor for the night. Everything's going well. 2 good days, and I've stocked up on fuel. I've got a full pantry. Well, this here port behind me is Genoa, and it's only 9 o'clock in the morning, so I got a really early start and just bounced out of there. It's not cold, but it's not warm either, and there's not going to be any sunshine today. It's just going to be cloudy all day, so sort of a grey day. Push on. I've done about 75 kilometers by the end of the day. And I turned on the news this morning, and there was like another shooting in America, and I was kind of disgusted by my reaction because they said, oh, 6 people have been shot, and I'm like, only 6? And for the next part of the journey, I'm going to be going and controlling the boat from upstairs. So you switch that like that, and that puts the controls upstairs. Today's trip turned out to be a little bit rougher than I was expecting, especially back there. I didn't even film it, but yeah, somehow there was just a convergence of swell, waves and wind, and the sea was just choppy as hell. Didn't feel unsafe, but it really makes me happy that I got this boat, because this boat handled it like a breeze, no problems at all. Considering it's like almost 40 years old, that's as old as me. Just off Genoa, I don't know. There were more boats there than there were in the freaking Solent in the middle of summer. There were all sorts of, there was people windsurfing, kite surfing, there was diving going on, there was a whole bunch of like teenagers in little boats like learning, and a bunch of other big boats just sailing, and I was like dodging between them because I didn't think they'd be there, but they were there. Bravo to the Italians for coming out in kind of shitty weather and having a good time on the sea. And just an odd little perspective thing here. Right now we are at 47 meters below the keel, which is not that far. I mean, it's a long way. I couldn't dive down there, but it's not that far. 47 meters is like 160 feet. But that hill up there, that's a good 1,000 meters high. So basically, when you look out here, all these mountains go up, and then, but if you drained the Mediterranean Sea, it'd be kind of flat out here. The sea is not very deep, really, and that is the headland that we're going around. But once we're around that headland, we go left about 8 kilometers, maybe 6 kilometers, and that's where I'm stopping for the day. It's been a good day. Got a long way, probably almost 80 kilometers in one day, which is great, you know. I found this place called, I can't remember, but it looks like you can take your boat right up into the city, and I don't know where you moor or tie off, but if you do it right, you can probably find somewhere that's very inexpensive. I'll put it on the map, and I mean, it just looks great. It looks really good. What I've been doing is, instead of like cutting across the bays, I'll just go around the bay, which makes it about 20% longer in distance, but about 50% less boat movie, because that's a term, I think. Everyone wants to know, oh, the fuel consumption, what's the best speed to go at? And it's probably around 7 knots is probably the best fuel consumption speed to go at. So So you're not going anywhere fast, but you're not like trying to ram yourself through the water. Once you go about 12 knots, the boat starts to plane and lift off. So there's less resistance, but you're using a lot of power to make the boat go forward. So that's not that economical. But if you're doing 7 knots and the sea is choppy, it's just not pleasant, because for 2 or 3 hours you're like wah, 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 all over the place. So it's almost best to go faster. Even though it's less economical, the comfortability level is a lot higher, and I'm all about comfort. Some divers over there, you see them? So we're gonna go around this headland and crash for the day. I could go further, but what's the point? Someone once told me that diesel engines need to be like given a little bit of welly every now and again. Otherwise the cylinders glaze. I don't really know what that means, but every now and again, like just before I get to a port, I'll push the engines up to almost like maximum. That's about 90%, and run them for like 2 minutes at that power, just to kind of burn off any crap. I know that doesn't sound very scientific, but it does kind of make sense, because I don't know, it just does. Science. That's enough going fast. I can practically feel the boat getting lighter with fuel just burning. Back to 6 knots, but it kind of feels good just to like go flat out for a minute or two. I found this cute little spot, like right in the middle of this island. So I'm just going to drop anchor a little bit. We're still too deep. It's kind of nice. Okay, the anchor is dropped and I'm legal to park here. I'm just gonna turn the engines off and see what we have. There are times when it's easier to ask for forgiveness than permission, and this is probably one of those. I'm not sure I'm supposed to be here, but the waves just began to come in and started hitting the boat, and I'm like, look, there's a space over there. If someone asks me to move, I'll happily move, but for now I'm staying here the night. This is Portofino. It's really nice. Good morning. Portofino is where we're at. That's where we came in, but the swell direction changed and started hitting that over there, and the boat was all over the place. So just as it was getting dark, I ran over here. The shops will open in about 2 hours maybe, and I might try and go in and buy a baguette because they're addictive. I woke up this morning, I'm like, oh no, I'm out of baguettes. Oh, I'm telling you, it's a drug. I actually decided just to leave. I was looking on Navily, one of the apps that I use, and it's like, yeah, it's only 183 euros a night to more there. I'm sorry, Portofino. Just over there is a breakwater, and the actual waves and swell are coming in from that direction. So tucked in here it's relatively calm. There's hardly any waves at all, and the boat's just kind of lolling around depending on where the wind is coming from, but not bad. And then I remembered I do have a baguette, but it's kind of like pre-cooked but not completely cooked, so I'm going to try and cook me a baguette. It says 12 minutes in the oven, so I'm preheating the oven and I'm going to make a baguette. After about 24 hours here in this lovely place, we are moving on. I need to well, it's only 8:50 in the morning, and I did about 12 kilometers just to come into this little port here, and the nice Italian gentleman came out and helped me more, which was nice of them. I just need to come in and buy a couple of things from the local supermarket. That's all. Our way along the Italian coast, which is kind of just magnificent. We're going to go to that rock there, that triangular looking thing. We're going to go there and turn left.